award is Aiden Ace Ellington. All right, this guy led us in home runs. He gets a lot of respect from a lot of people that we play. Sometimes they throw around him. He's got a chance to play probably at the next level if we can continue to get him going in the upward way. And my top hitter is Braden Armstrong. In the fall, in tournaments, he lost the first game of the season and he lost the last game of the season. It's only 2 losses he had in the spring. He won 7 or 8 in between. This kid's going to learn a lot. He's come a long way, head and shoulders compared to what he is from the fall to the spring. This kid has a lot of potential. My top pitcher is Tyler Norton. I think he finished the season with 77 strikeouts and his ERA was below a 2. I got an award because I not mean life, I kind of get threatened that they have to be talked about. Your time will come, Nikki, next year. But right now I had to get a world's best manager, somebody who's been with me for 4 years, 8 seasons. That's Tatum Woods. I got 3 seniors and senior award here for Blake Ross. If you notice that number on there, that was your number. Not this year, but before that. Senior, both these seniors didn't play in the fall, but they came back, and I'm sure glad they did. They were a big asset for us and great to have them. I'm glad you came back, guys. My other one is Caleb McSpadden. Books and listen to My Mind Needs to Be Made Up or something like that. She'd let me know what needs to happen. Tatum Woods. This year, when we did the baseball spaghetti dinner, which incorporates all the sports into it throughout the night, this year when we had it, this was our biggest year, and without y'all, it wouldn't have been the biggest. We made over $13,000 combined for everything. Thank you for everybody that contributed. Now, through the year, we reached out, and some people just did it on their own. As coaches, we need help doing some things. Might it be concession work? Sometimes we need to have a field work day, or somebody just reaching out. People that's sent snacks or stuff with the teams. It's greatly appreciated. Because trust me, as coaches, we forget to do some things here and there. We can't do it without the support, and you're greatly appreciated. I'm going to recognize a few people that would have went above and beyond, and I'm not going to get everybody, but I'm going to thank a lot of people. And I'm going to have a few for some of them. For one, I want to thank my wife. Where's she at? Just stand up. Carrie. She lets me do this. She knows baseball's big in my life, and thank you for letting me love it. Now, if I call your name, I'd like you to come forward. First person did a lot of help organizing concession and getting people rounded up. I know a lot of people don't like to do it, but it kind of got to be done. And just help doing all I recognize is Jessica Dempsey. I'm going to kill two birds with one stone here. Another person that did a lot of concession work and a lot of help behind the scenes. Can't do without you. Angie Woods. And then to her left is Robert. Robert has done a whole lot of things he doesn't like to be talked about, but I'm telling you, without him, he did a lot of work on the field with the tractor, helping me out behind the scenes, and it's been a blessing to have. So Robert and Angie Woods. Robert, there's something in there for you. Don't let her keep it.
He didn't.
And I actually saw this person today. Is Mr. Duger here? He's not, so I'm going to get him tomorrow night. He's got junior high and elementary kids, but this man dedicated a weekend to coming up and cooking at a tournament, and he didn't have to be there because his kids weren't involved, or grandkids weren't involved, but I'm going to recognize him tomorrow. But Mr. Duger, I'll take care of him tomorrow. Last but not least, on the people that helped a lot, this person did a huge, and I mean a huge, favor for us by getting so many donations for the spaghetti dinner, the baskets, the help that they put in throughout the spaghetti dinner, plus throughout the school year, getting things ready for the kids on bus trips for the baseball team. She helped set up over the weekend. She helped cook in here tonight. Couldn't have done without you. You're right. On my left, I probably should have talked first on him. Coach Brown, one of my former players. Actually, everybody up here is a former player of mine. So I think I did pretty good. Coach Brown came in and has done an amazing job of basketball, but he was a big asset to me on the baseball field by helping with the junior high and the high school, getting fresh blood in here, younger to these guys. Sometimes they don't always listen to the older guy, but trust me, his lingo, the way he just coming out of baseball not too long ago in college, sometimes he can put it in their terminology a little better than me, and he's been a great help and asset to me, and I want to thank Coach Brown for that. I've got Mr. Norton over here. Stand up, Travis. Now sit down. Travis dedicates a lot of his time. He'll get off work. We got a tournament. He comes straight from work, sleeps a little bit on the bus, and he will cheer, do whatever he can to do to support your kids. He's a great member to have. And Tiffany over here takes care of the Booster Club account. Without the Nortons, I'd be lost. Like a lot of y'all, I'd be lost. But I want to let you know I appreciate y'all. All right, thank y'all.
All right, bear with me here because I'm going to talk about fast pitch and slow pitch at the same time. So first off, I want to start off by thanking everyone for their support this year. It was an awesome year for our teams and everyone who came to support us all year. We want to thank you. From keeping gate, concessions, scoreboard, and so much more, we're very appreciative of it. And trust me, it doesn't go unnoticed from us coaches and the girls. We wouldn't have had this season and success without all of your support. I would like to personally thank Coach Bench. I've had the best assistant around for the past 7 years, and he has done way more than any of you guys will ever see. One of the big reasons this program has been so successful is because of him and what he does behind the scenes. And I know he hates to be talked about, but I'm gonna for another sentence or two. He doesn't do it to get noticed or for any recognition. He does it because he genuinely cares about the team, the program, and the girls. So thank you, Coach Bench. All right, so just a little recap of both of our seasons. Our fast pitch season started on July 15th at 12 o'clock in the morning. And this is still a fairly new program with a lot of girls who are still learning the ins and outs of fast pitch. We started at midnight for a 2-hour practice. They slept in the gym, woke up for early morning practice. It was a good memory to have and make, but not sure how much we actually got accomplished that next morning in practice because I don't think they slept at all. We finished our fast pitch season with a record of 15-13 and a handful of great moments. We had an extra inning win against Rush Springs, a run rule over our rival Fletcher, an ejection by a coach at the Cashin tournament that many people have never heard about, a back and forth game against top-ranked Lukiba at the end of the season, and an awesome comeback win versus ranked Vert. Pitch, we finished with a record of 24-15. We were ranked 18th. Me and Coach Bench got our 100th win in our slow pitch coaching careers. It was the most wins in a season for softball in Union City history. We finished 3rd at the Wacomas tournament. We played against top-ranked Ampo, who made it to the state tournament in Class 3A, where we eventually lost on a walk-off home run, but Caitlin Linton and Alexis Archer hit home runs to tie it up in a really back-and-forth game, and that was a game that really showed how great we could be throughout the season. Hey, Coach. Here's one of my favorite stats, though. We played 18 ranked teams, 7 of which were in the top 10, and 6 of which made the state tournament. Games we have ever been a part of. One team actually forfeit and left while we were about to play them, and we stayed and played 2 more games. We hit a total of 14 home runs. Energetic, amazing. There was a lot of people there. The weather was terrible. You stayed the entire time. All 4. I hope the girls don't forget it either. So when I call your name, please come up and then stay up here. And we have a certificate and a little gift for every girl. Is Skylar here? I don't think she is. Okay, so first we have Izzy Schrod. Is she here? She is not here. All right, our only freshman here is Ava DeLong. Ava also played multiple positions for us on both attitude and is such an encouraging teammate. She's going to do some great things for this program in the future. Next, we have sophomore Cheyenne Stuckey. Cheyenne made so many strides this year at the plate and on the field. She had a big hit against highly ranked Fletcher earlier this year, and I turn around, look in the dugout, and she's standing on a chair with drumsticks going absolutely insane. I have no idea why that sticks out of my mind so much, but you can tell she was enjoying every second of that moment. I'm excited to continue to coach this girl in the future. Next, we have Trinity Lowrance. This is her first year here at Union City, and she is very fast. In district, she was a big part of our base running. She's continued to learn the game all year. She made some big strides, and in the dugout, she was our drummer and kept everybody going. So thank you, Trinity. Next, we have Paisley Locke. Paisley ended up being our starting second baseman in both fast pitch and slow pitch, and this girl got to the point where she was not afraid to put her body on the line and lay out. I really enjoyed coaching this girl. She's competitive and she hates losing. In fast pitch, she became one of our most consistent bunters and an excellent base runner. In slow pitch, there was a stretch in the season where she was leading our team in batting average. Good job, Paisley. Is Grace here? Okay. Next, we have Emily Griggs. Emily was our leader in the circle and had a 3.98 ERA. She finished the season with 10 wins. She finished the season with 4 home runs, which was second on the team, a 4.14 average, 36 RBIs, and 34 runs scored. The most memorable hit of the year came against Fort Cobb when she hit a 2-run walk-off home run, and I believe they were ranked 12th, 13th. I know that's a memory that I believe none of us will forget, the celebration at the end. So that was awesome. Good job, Emily. Next we have Ocean Schrons. Probably would have had more, but she got called back every game, it seemed like. She was also one of the top in the state with 33 stolen bases. This girl can fly. In slow pitch, though, none of those are able to happen. But in the field, she was one of our top pitchers along with Alexis. She was a great threat at the plate. She batted .432 in slow pitch and .329 in fast pitch. I made a deal before a game earlier this year when the wind was blowing directly in that if anyone hit a home run, I would buy that person Dairy Mart. Not thinking it would be possible for anyone, especially not the girl who has ever hit one, not even in practice. First at bat of the game, she comes up and hits one into the wind over the fence. I owed her Dairy Mart. So, congrats on your first career home run. Next we have Caitlin Linson. Caitlin was a force at the plate and in the outfield. She wasn't afraid to dive or slide into a base hard, which most of our girls kind of were. She batted .250 in fast pitch with 16 RBIs. In slow pitch, she batted .392 and had one of the more memorable plays at districts, throwing a girl out at home. She also had a big play against Waukomis earlier in the year where she threw a girl out at third to basically stop their little comeback they were having on us. And then one of her biggest moments at the plate came against Ampo, where she hit a 7th inning 3-run home run to tie it up. Definitely a great moment. She's going to be very hard to get out next year at the plate, so congrats, Kate. Next we have McKenna DeLong. In fast pitch, she was second on the team in hits, RBIs, doubles, and batting average. She led the team with 3 triples throughout the year. In slow pitch, she was third in the team with 39 RBIs. She batted either leadoff, 2-hole, or 3-hole for us in both seasons. Her defense in the outfield and slow pitch was amazing. She could track a ball down better than almost anybody. She's one of the hardest working and best teammates any team or coach could ask for. We're excited to keep coaching you. Next we have Mackenzie DeLong. Kinsey led almost all offensive categories in slow pitch and in fast pitch. She finished with 5 home runs in both fast pitch and then 5 in slow pitch. She also finished with a .529 average in slow pitch and a .494 average in fast pitch. She pitched a little bit. She had 3 wins on the mound and played shortstop primarily in slow pitch. She had a ton of big hits this year, but one that sticks out to me is her grand, but also when nobody is watching. Good job, Kinsey. Any more underclassmen? Now seniors? Okay, so this will take a little bit longer. I'm sorry, I have stories about each one of my seniors. And awards for them. So first we have Jordan Schmitz. The first memory of this girl on the softball field, stay right here for a second, is 3 years ago when her mom brings her to practice and says she's going to be coming back to Union City after many years away and is going to give softball a shot. By the end of that first practice, she's puking everywhere. Wasn't quite sure she would be back on the field the next day, but she was, and she was the type of girl that never missed a practice, was normally the first one in the parking lot for practice or games. Jordan played outfield for us and finished the fast pitch season with 17 RBIs, and in districts, if you guys were there, she made a play in right field that she dove for, and it was like an Angels of the Outfield moment where she just stretched out and she kept going, and the ball ended up in her glove. She ran in, she's crying, tears of joy and happiness because she got that out. It was one of the most remarkable plays I've seen. It was really cool to see her and how happy she was come in after that play. It's something I'm not going to forget. In slow pitch, Jordan finished the season with 9 RBIs and 23 runs scored. Jordan, we're going to miss your crazy shenanigans in the dugout. I know she will never forget playing against Carnegie a few years back and basically becoming so obnoxious, cheering our team on, that the other coach just had enough. Jordan, we're going to miss you. This year's Tiger Award goes to Jordan Schmidt. Also, I have a little note here. Jordan's dad, thank you for the end of the year gift that you gave me, Coach Finch. We definitely will miss having you in the stands. Maybe pop by a few games next year. We will definitely appreciate that. So, thank you. All right, next we have Alexis Archer. She finished slow pitch with 28 hits, 1 home run, 31 RBIs, and a .431 batting average. Alexis was a great teammate, and over the course of the past 4 years, me and Benj have been pretty tough on her, but she kept going. She never gave up when she probably could have. She improved every single season. She pushed as hard as she could, and in her final games a few weeks ago, she left it all out there, and you could tell. She was diving at third base and pitched in the crazy wind, but one moment that truly sticks out is the ball she hit off coaching. It didn't get high enough to go over, but it was a rocket off the center field wall. Alexis played many different positions and took pride in learning every detail she could at each one. She played first, third, outfield, catch, pitch. She never had a bad attitude about where she went. She just wanted to be out there. And every year she took strides in becoming the best she could wherever we put her. And this year's Most Improved Award goes to Alexis Archer. Next we have Bailey Jackson. I only had the chance to coach Bailey in high school for 1 season, but thankfully we had the opportunity to have her around because she was an amazing girl to have around. In slow pitch, she batted .354 with 25 hits, 3 doubles, and a triple. She also hit a home run at Hinton. She took on a few different roles. She played first base, outfield, and catcher, and she was an amazing catcher. She could strangely enough frame a ball in slow pitch to make almost anything look like it could be a strike. There's not many catchers in slow pitch we've ever seen do that. Bailey was the kind of competitor that knew how to handle winning and also failing. She was the kid on the bus getting everyone excited and keeping things light when she needs to. She was a fierce competitor and hated losing, but also used every opportunity as a chance to improve or get better. She was the kind of teammate anyone would love to have and any coach would love to have. I wish we could have coached you a lot longer than just a few months, but I know we are both very grateful we had you with us this past season. This year's Best Teammate Award goes to Bailey Jackson. Next we have Kaylee Jackson. All right, if anyone knows how me and Benj operate, usually there's 7 billion things we're trying to do before a game or practice to get it ready in time so it can run smoothly. And in years past, we've been very much against having a manager. But it was refreshing and helpful to finally have one and have Kaylee a part of our team. She would get the iPad set up, the speaker going, handle lineups, and run to get any equipment we forgot or anything we would need if we were unable to. I also think she probably learned a lot from me and Benj in the dugout about all of our conversations. I do need to apologize to her for one thing. In the last game of the season, I threw a clipboard in the dugout. It straight up hit her. Yeah, it wasn't good. The papers went everywhere, the clipboard hit her. But I do want to apologize for that. I know me and Benj are very thankful for all you did this season, and we wish you were not graduating just quite yet. But this year's Manager of the Year award goes to Kaylee Jackson. All right, the last senior is Kylie McCoy. First off, this is very similar to Alexis. We were very hard on Kylie the past 7 or 8 years, and we saw the potential she had. We had some base running mistakes and outbursts. We tried playing the infield. We know how that worked out. We threw you behind the plate. That wasn't where you needed to be. And we finally found the perfect spot for you in the outfield. But during all of that, you kept becoming a better hitter and a threat at the plate that many teams did not want to face. Although they knew you were going to pull the ball to left field every single time, they had no idea how far it would go. In fast pitch, she finished 5th on the team in batting average with a .263 average. She had 26 runs scored, 6 RBIs. In slow pitch, she finished 2nd in batting average with a .514 average, led the team in RBIs with 39, had 14 doubles and 2 home runs, 1 quick playoffs, and 2 or 3 of those times she was the last out. It's very sad. She stepped up to the plate with 2 outs and potentially our final at bat. And me and Benj already talked about it. We couldn't handle it if she was the final out again because it's heartbreaking to see that happen. And we definitely didn't want it to be a senior. And she hit the ball into the wind, over the left fielder's head, got to second, advanced on an error to third, and she's like crying a little bit at third, hugs me, screams. It was pretty awesome to see. It's a moment I'm not going to forget. I'm glad she wasn't the last out because I don't think I could have handled it. It's it's a moment I'm not going to forget. You can see all the emotions on her face, all the exhaustion from the past 7 years, and that's why me and Benj coach, so we can coach these girls and see moments like that. One thing I haven't mentioned is Kylie's arm in the outfield. She threw out multiple runners over the course of her career, tournaments that swung the momentum in our favor. We're going to miss you more than you will ever know, Kylie. You've done so much for this program. This year's Golden Arm Award goes to Kylie McCoy. All right, I'm almost done. Years. There's so many memories and stories we wish with you guys, because that's what me and Benj do. It's always hard to end ours at Hydro. I just want to thank everyone for supporting us and these seniors and the rest of all the girls all year long. We love seeing you guys at the games. We love the students at districts going crazy. We enjoyed the snow cone runs, the night practices, game day baby, if you know what that means, theme practices, the hard and tough ones, and the long days, the impromptu after game practices when we need to practice more, all the miles we ran in July, but it's all worth it. Me and Benj will always be here for you guys, and we'll always fight for you. This team has done some really amazing things this year, and next year will be the same. This program will continue in that direction. So thank you guys for all the support. Thank you girls for being a part of this year's team, and thank you Benj for being the best assistant and friend. Don't repeat that. I don't want to be sweet and nice to them. I love coaching these girls and seeing all the support you guys have for them. So thank you guys.
Okay, my name is Kylie McCoy, and I was a senior on the Union City softball team. Pushing us to always being better and wanting to reach our goal. So we again wanted to say thank you, and we all pitched in and got something for the coaches.
All right, is anybody from Miss Bosler's class here tonight? Well, anyway, I want to thank Mrs. Casey Bosler, teacher at school, and her special ed class. They made the center arrangement flowers. That was a very nice thing for them to do for the banquets. So if you could, please clap for them. Thank y'all. And we don't have an award for this, but it's somebody I want to recognize. Corbin McKinney, stand on your chair. Everybody see Corbin? Corbin was national bull riding champion this year.
What's up? Well, so this is my first year coaching basketball, fourth year coaching, but I haven't coached basketball before. So this was definitely a learning experience, to say the least. But I want to say thank you to you boys for making it a very memorable experience, and thank you for making this first year a lot of fun, and I hope you guys learned as much from me as I learned from you guys. I want to say a special thanks to the parents for always keeping things enthusiastic and exciting in the crowd. Definitely would not have had as much fun without all that going on. And also, Peter, I forgot your award, but special thanks to Peter Woods, because he filmed for us every game. He sat up by himself, had some pretty good commentary every now and then. It was a lot of fun. All right, so this first award is the Hustle Award. And this goes to a player who, this is really short, I'm sorry guys. There we go. This goes to a player who knew what his role was, and it wasn't always necessarily to dribble the ball or shoot the ball or pass the ball, but it was to hustle, and he knew that. And I know anyone that ever came to a game and watched this kid coming into a game, you knew that his job was to hustle, and he did it better than maybe anyone I've ever coached before. So the first, the Hustle Award goes to Caden Cumming. All right, my next award is the Top Offense Award. It goes to the guy that we wanted to have the ball in his hands as much as we could. The guy that he led our points, he led assists. He was even up there on offensive rebounds. But this is a kid that for the next couple of years, it's going to be really hard to get him open because everybody knows who he is. He knows how to score. He can shoot. He can drive. He can kick. It's pretty impressive to watch, especially from a sophomore. But the Top Offensive Award goes to J.D. Riley. All right, the next award is the Sixth Man Award. So I would kind of attribute or call this player, I don't know if you guys remember when James Harden was on the Thunder a couple years ago. I guess it was a long time ago. Probably should have started, one of the best players in the league, but just gave us so much off of the bench that it was really hard to change that position once the season got going. This kid, he knew his role. He could do it all. He could shoot, he could score, he could pass, he could rebound when he wanted to work hard. Sometimes it was a little hard getting him to do that. But so the Sixth Man Award goes to Tyler Norton. All right. The next award, I actually let the boys vote on this award because it's the Tiger Leadership Award. So being a coach, being on the sidelines, I didn't get to be on the court with them and I didn't get to see them in this role as much. And so I sent out a survey and I just asked, who was your guys' leader? Who was the leader on the floor? And I think I heard from a couple people that when this player was on the floor, it was just a little bit different. The dynamics of the court was just a little bit different. The dynamics of the five guys. Everyone seemed to look to him on the court and in practice too. Sometimes leadership with teenagers is tough, especially with a few of our. I mean, it's tough being in a group of boys that are always clashing, they're always going at it and working as hard as they possibly can at all times. But this kid stepped up no matter what, no matter the circumstance, and I think a lot of things we worked on was his encouragement to his players. And not one time did you ever see this player not believe in his teammates. That was one of my favorite things about him. All right, so the Tiger Leadership Award goes to Braden Armstrong.
What's up, B?
All right. So the last three awards are going to go to seniors. So the first award is the Tiger Heart Award. This goes to a player that gives the most heart. He's the player that gives everything he has in practices, everything he has in scrimmages, everything he has in games. He's an all-around hustle player. This player, you would see him on the floor more than anybody else because he would try to take 17 charges a game. He put his body on the line when it counted. Ended up most of the time guarding the best player on the other team. And honestly, probably the player with the best overall attitude at all times. Kept it in check when he needed to. He got hyped when he needed to. So the Tiger Heart Award goes to Jaden Strickland. The next award is the All-Around Tiger Award. This goes to a player who could literally do it all. He played down low. He could kick out and shoot a three. He had some of the coolest assists I've seen. He had the dunk of the year. pass, shoot, score, rebound, bring the ball up even a couple times. That was a little scary. Led the team in block shots. He averaged almost over 2 block shots a game. And not only did he do a lot on the court during practice, he does a lot off the court. Working with FFA, and he's actually nominated for the Native American All-State. We haven't heard back yet, but we're hopeful to hear from that. He was a player that was here for his team first, no matter the situation. So the all-around Tiger Award goes to Rustin Dawson. The last award is the Eye of the Tiger Award, and this goes to a player who always had the fight in him, whether it was literal fight or figurative fight. So in that song, rising up to the challenge of our rival, it doesn't matter who we were playing, whether it was Hydro Weekly, whether they had a 6'8" kid, or whether it was whoever it was, it didn't matter. He was showing up and he was ready to play. He had the eye of the tiger. He was ready to fight no matter what. He had single-minded determination, and all he cared about was the success of his team, whether he was on the floor, on the bench, whatever it was. So the Eye of the Tiger Award goes to Blake Ross. That is it. Appreciate it.
The what? No, just him acting.
Oh my god, look at that little puppy.
Yeah. It's a long-haired wiener. They're getting chased.
Don't worry, I'll like the way. Yeah. Oh, I got a lightsaber.
Hey, boys basketball, come up here so you can get some pictures taken. Bring your awards.
A little shout out to Kinsey and Bailey for putting that slideshow together, so good job.
They did it all, like I told you, like this week, big week, and they were working on it. So, well, they did it. That's all that matters. It's like we text them that time, you do it. I got it done by the date. And they're like, yeah.
Okay. Our cheer sponsor tonight happens to have one of their children's banquets tonight. Miss Roberts has 3 awards. If you're a cheerleader, please stand up. Jordan Schmidt, Trini Lawrence, Nikki Parks, Ava DeLong. Am I missing anyone? Travis, sit down. All right. Okay, you can be seated. I'm going to start with, well, the most spirited. This one's not here. The most spirited would be Keaton Wood. She's not here. The Union City Cheer, the Leadership Award, Ava DeLong. And the Super Senior Cheer Award goes to Jordan Schmidt. I'm sorry we dropped the ball on this. There probably was a speech, but we did not get it. We apologize.
Okay, good evening. Tonight I'd like to honor our girls basketball team for their hard work throughout the past season. First though, I'd like to thank any administrator, staff member, parent, or fan who helped out in any way this year. We got a lot of help from a lot of people. The support you guys showed and the help that you give us is immeasurable, unmeasurable, one or the other. Thank you for those fans who cheer at games, for the people who keep gate, who help with concession, who keep books, who keep clock, who keep stats, who do music, hire officials, help manage the gym and crowded games, who lend a kind word or encouraging word to a player, those who sing the national anthem or take the time to listen to a frustrated player or coach. Thank you to you who have trusted me to coach your children, who have helped me make invoices, who have helped organize team meals, helped make tumblers, helped make certificates for this banquet, who have bought the team water bottles, who helped set up this banquet. And there's a lot more that I know I failed to mention, but we've gotten a lot of help. For any help, I'd just like to say thank you very, very much. Sometimes just a little help or support goes much further than you may realize. Also, on a side note, I'd like to thank our cheerleaders this year for working hard. You guys did a good job energizing our crowd, keeping our crowd pepped up. I think it helps the teams when you guys are doing that, so thank you to the cheerleaders as well. So I'm going to talk about this season just a little bit. It was a pretty wild ride, I think. There were times that we struggled and that I thought we weren't very good at times. Like, I didn't think we were going to beat many people. And then there was times that we played well and I felt like we could beat a lot of teams, almost anybody. So it's kind of up and down. We were a senior-led group of seniors that brought lots of experience. And we had a lot of juniors, sophomores, and one freshman that also brought a lot to the table. Overall, it was a really special season for me. I remember sitting in the locker room before the game and trying to just make simple goals. One was just getting out of districts. We hadn't done it in a while. And we sat there and I liked it. I was like, you know, let's keep it simple for our first goal is let's go to regionals. And we were able to do that. And I think once we got there, started playing really, really good basketball. And I think we were much closer than people realized to go into the next round of playoffs, actually. But really proud of them for the way we ended the season. And it just started with a goal of let's just get out of districts one way or another. We went to the finals of the Mulhall tournament. And we won a crazy Saturday game at Payton versus Kearney that I almost run single-handedly. We'll talk about that later more. We finished up with 14 wins, and like I said, we were really close to adding on to that at the end of the year during playoffs, where these girls played probably the best ball they played in 4 years, I think. Competed with some really good teams. Typically at this banquet, I like to spend a lot of time talking about the year and the season and just a little bit of time talking about our teammates, but tonight I'd like to flip that a little bit. I'd like to spend a little more time honoring our girls that make this team and saying something that I think is special about each of them. I would like to thank each girl who participated anyway, who filmed, who managed, or who played. You made it a really special year for me. I hope it was for you, but I know I'll look back on it with a smile when I think about some of the things that happened this year. So when I call your name, please come up, kind of like softball did. I'm going to give you, I'll talk about you for a minute, brag on you, give you a certificate and a small gift that I had help with, and I think it's cool. And then stay up here if you don't mind, so we'll get some pictures of all of you together. All right? And then also the seniors, you'll have a senior little trophy award that has the dates that you played varsity basketball on there, and has our team motto on there as well. That's something that I think is pretty cool for you guys to remember. Okay? But let me start with my filmers. Haley Ague and Cheyenne Stuckey. Are you guys here? Can you come up here, please? Good filmers are hard to find. You guys know that, right? Okay. Thank you for helping film games this season. It was critical. Good film's critical for our team to be prepared as we possibly can be. And I always say film is like currency in the coaching world. To get film on teams, I've got to give them film. And it's an exchange and it's bartering. And without you guys, I couldn't have done that. We've had a lot of filmers quit halfway through the season since I've been here. Usually around January, tournament time gets crazy. We're playing every weekend, and then I start getting the I can't goes and over and over and over, and I'm scrambling, using the boys' film or something like that, trying to get it done. But you guys stuck with it, and you were committed. So I really appreciate your commitment this year, and I know you just filmed, but you were still part of the team. And so let me get your certificate here. Haley and Cheyenne, and then hold on. some people want to teach. So thank you guys. Sorry, does that have your name on it? They're going to look for yours. It's in there. Stay up here anyway. You guys can stand right over there if you don't mind. We'll get you yours in a minute, Cheyenne. Next is the managers. Berenice, if you come up, please. Are you here? She's not here? Okay, I'm going to talk about her anyway, just real quick. You got it, Cheyenne? Okay. What I wrote about Berenice is that she probably has the best shot of any manager that I've ever had help me manage. She can shoot lights out, which sometimes is frustrating. She's not on the floor showing that off. But she's dealt with a lot of injuries, and I'm just proud that even though she couldn't play due to her knee injuries and whatnot, that she stayed. She helped out. She helped out during drills a lot. Helped out with water. Helped on the bench. Always did what I wanted with no complaints. And I've enjoyed her positivity, and she's really been very respectful to me. And so she made my job a lot easier. Justice is not here either, probably. Okay, I also wrote about Justice Jones. She's managed us for 4 years and did a really good job. I wrote, even though she isn't here tonight, I feel that I need to thank her for her years of commitment to this team. Justice never questioned anything I asked her to do. She always stayed to the very end of practice. Lots of managers don't do that. Justice would help. Also, stepping into drills, even though she was uncomfortable doing it, when we didn't have enough players, which was the last few years. She was very positive on the bench and a huge cheerleader for our team every second they played. She'd call out the plays that I called if my voice was gone. She was really loud and good at doing that. She also helped keep our energy up during practice with music, and so I appreciated her and I will miss her. So that's our two managers, Berenice and Justice. Let's talk about our freshman, our one and only freshman, Rigo. Come on up, please. So when I asked the freshmen, just let me talk about you for a second. I asked all the freshmen this year if any of them were interested in playing on the varsity team. A lot of freshmen hesitate when you ask that. Bree did not hesitate at all. She immediately let me know. She probably told me before that even, that she wanted to play high school basketball. And I knew she was going to say yes, but I asked them anyway. But she jumped on the opportunity. She's a really hard worker. And one thing about her, she's not intimidated to guard anyone during practice, even the seniors, whoever. She'll jump up there and give them all they want. I enjoyed watching her compete with the older girls this year, and I was really impressed by how much time and effort you put in improving your game. I know you really want to be the best player you can be, and I know you have a bright future ahead of you. You helped us make a lot of difference in games with scoring, ball handling, and defense. And so I'm very proud of you. I thank you for working hard and for being fearless against playing those older girls. Okay? So here's your certificate. Good job. First sophomore, Trinity. Trinity here. Trinity's an interesting one. She came from Eric. I always talk to her about coming from Eric. The funny thing is that I'm friends with her old coach, and we like to talk basketball from time to time. And I remember this summer when I heard we were getting a girl named Trinity from Eric, I had to give Coach Jans a call and ask him what I could expect from our new basketball player. And I remember the first thing he said was, "Coach, you're really going to like Trinity. She always listens, and she always does exactly what I wanted her to do." And that's music to my ears when the coach tells me that, and he was right. Trinity did a great job this year and really excelled on the defensive side of things. I can remember in Summer League, she didn't know really what we were doing because it was all new, but one thing she would do was just get up and pressure the ball and be very aggressive. I could tell that she enjoyed doing that, and she was good at it very quick. You're a tenacious defender, and Coach Jans was right when he said that about you. I'm very glad we got you this year. I'm very proud of you. I thank you for all your hard work. Good job. Megan. Megan has had to do it all this year, really. She played probably all positions from the 1 to the 5, I'm guessing, at times. And so it's sometimes hard to tell Megan exactly what she needs to be preparing for during a specific game. Megan would sometimes ask, Coach, do I need to be working on my guard stuff and my post stuff? And I never could give her a good answer because it's kind of both, you know. Tough position to be in sometimes. But she did them both well. I wrote that she may be playing post for 1 quarter, then have to play a guard for a while. Then she may have to help bring the ball up the floor later on in the 4th quarter. But she's very well-rounded because of that, and really can surprise teams with her rebounding. I remember some games you really had some good rebounding games, specifically that Gracewell game, tons of offensive rebounds and putbacks and stuff. She's not the tallest girl in the world, but plays very physical, very tough, and her shot has continued to develop. I've appreciated how open-minded you were, playing all the different roles that I asked you to this year. I'm very proud of you, and again, thank you for your hard work. Good job. Paisley. Paisley's one of the girls who matched up with Tatum a lot during practice, offensively and defensively. And so I got to watch her compete with our senior point guard every day. And I know it wasn't always easy. However, I got to watch and really admire how much she would compete and battle and fight day in and day out, never giving up, which in turn I believe is going to help you out tremendously down the road in basketball. She would show a lot of poise and maturity for a sophomore during those practices. She's an extremely hard worker and has shown a lot of determination. Throughout the year, I thought your ball handling and decision making matured and improved, but one thing that really stuck out about your game is how well you started shooting the ball at the end of the year. You just started knocking shots down in practice like you hadn't all year long. Thought that was really neat to witness. You've always been a great defender and really a good rebounder for your size. I think you have a nose for the ball. And a lot of that is due to hustling and just playing with heart, what you did every day. So I'm proud of you for that, and thank you for your hard work. Good job. Now my 2 juniors, let's start with Emily Briggs. Emily's hard for me to tell what she's thinking sometimes. I can't read your expressions. Emily, though, was a huge presence in the post this year, offensively and defensively. I think from your sophomore year to your junior year, your overall game, everything just matured and developed. More than her length, helped us out so much on the defensive side of the ball, just long arms and being strong in there. She's a very, very strong rebounder and did a very good job this year of securing defensive rebounds and safely getting the ball to our point guard. Talked about it all the time, right? Grab that ball, be tough with it, get it to our guards. You did a really good job of that. She also had some great offensive rebounding games that were important because it extended our offense possessions and gave us more chances to score. Another thing that stood out about Emily was the development of her mid-range jump shot. To me, she was able to knock down 15-footers from the elbows and short corner in a very consistent fashion and really knock down some pretty important shots for us this year, especially during playoffs at the end of some of those close games. I believe you're set to have a great senior year and will be a strong force to be reckoned with inside for any opposing team. I'm really proud of you and thank you for all your hard work. Good job. Kinsey. Like Emily, Kinsey also progressed quite a bit this year from sophomore to junior year. As I expected, she was really tough defensively. She's very active off the ball on defense and racked up tons of tip passes and steals just from being active off the ball. Kinsey also got the honor, or the curse, I don't know what it is, of having her on the baseline for our half-court trap and some of our defenses, which is a very tough position to play due to the amount of moving and running it requires. Some coaches will call this position the warrior position because to play it you have to be a very hard worker, but that's what Kinsey is, very tough and a very hard worker. Because of that work ethic of practicing shooting after practice, Kinsey turned herself into a scoring threat from behind the three-point line like I really never thought she would. Lots of shots after practice. Her progress as a shooter this year compared to the past few years was really remarkable. Because of that work ethic, you turned yourself into a very huge contributor this year. I'm proud of you and thank you for your hard work. Good job. Is that everyone but seniors? Is that it? All right, seniors. I started with Jordan too, just like Coach Schmidt did with the seniors, right? Is that true? All right, Jordan, come on up. I promise I'm not copying him, but this also has, my story also has to do with your first practice. So I guess it stood out to both of us. But let me tell the story. Jordan came to us her sophomore year. That's the first time I really met you. I knew your sister and everything before, but I can still remember your first practice. And I honestly did not think that you were going to finish that practice. I can remember we were doing a lot of running, and it was fast-paced, and we didn't have many breaks. It was an early one. Those are the tough ones, you know. And I just remember looking at Jordan's face at one point, and I just saw this sheer exhaustion. Almost worried me a little bit. Just looked really beat. And I truly thought that you probably were going to leave. However, you finished that practice strong, and then came back the next day for another one. I was really impressed, honestly. That first practice turned into 3 straight years of going through some pretty tough practices. And the point of that story is that Jordan is tough and way tougher than I even expected. And the awesome thing is that even though I could see pain on her face during those practices, I never heard her complain. In 3 years, I've never had her complain. I've never caught her not paying attention. I've only just witnessed her giving it her all. And that's a testament to her as a person. I think she's determined. I think she's very respectful to me. And I think she's good-hearted. Jordan probably smiles more than any person I know. She just smiles. Even when she's tired, she smiles. That's good. It's a good energy. She's one of the friendliest people I know and just has a great energy about her. I'm very happy that Jordan came here her sophomore year. I'm very happy she played basketball. Anytime she was on the floor, she played aggressively, and she always gave 100%. She was really aggressive this year. And she was a great teammate to all these girls, and I know she'll be missed. I'm very proud of you. I thank you for the last 3 years. You did a great job. Senior award, and also your certificate. Good job. All right, let's go, Cammie. All right, Cammie's pretty funny to me. Cammie came to us her sophomore year as well, just like Jordan, from Kearney, Oklahoma. And just like with Trinity, I got to visit with Cammie's old coach the year she came to Union City. And again, he told me good things. He said, Cammie listens and does her very best. And that's true about Cammie. Never once did I ask you to do something in a game or practice that you didn't go do or try your very best to do. I witnessed Cammie battle many ankle sprains, many knee injuries during her time with us, but she always came back working hard and being physical and not backing down. Cammie was really a great rebounder during her 3 years here, and anytime we ran a set called Cowboy to her, I always was confident that she was going to find a way to seal her girl, no matter their size, and give us a chance to score. I bet you that we ran it so much, you could probably run it for the rest of your life, wouldn't you think? I don't think you'll ever forget that. Did a good job at it. I always remember Cammie getting put out with a post girl from Chattanooga and finally letting her elbow fly to get her off of her back, and it did work. And it's funny to me because Cammie's so nice, but she had just had enough of that girl. Another thing I'll remember that Cammie really wanted to run during practice at her own pace. I've never had any player ask me if they could run sprints at their own pace until I met Cammie Winter. It's not typical. I'm really happy that she decided to move here, and because of her, I believe that I probably am an expert ankle taper by now. Taped a lot of ankles. But it's been awesome having her on her team, and she will be very missed, at least like maybe 20% or something. So I'm very proud of you, and thank you for your hard work this year and the past 3 years. Katie. I can still remember when Katie came out for basketball in junior high. She was just a little thing, not very tall, didn't weigh much. What I remember most about her was how well she rebounded and how physical she was for being so little. It always stood out that one of our tiniest girls was one of our strongest rebounders and one of our roughest girls in the paint. And honestly, I think Katie played pretty mean. And I really liked the aggressive attitude that she started playing with way back in junior high. It was special to see Katie develop over the years. She went from just being a rebounder and defender to also being a guard and an accurate shooter. Katie really had the short corner shot down to an art and developed a really soft touch from around the paint. She also extended her shooting accuracy to beyond the three-point line in the past few years. I love seeing Katie's confidence as a player and scorer grow throughout her career, and I enjoyed the toughness she played with. This is a girl who's been at least through half a dozen surgeries probably, something like that, maybe more. And still never missed practice, never backed down, never complained, just kept going. That's very tough and very admirable. Katie does have a lot of fight in her. She doesn't quit, and I think that'll serve her well throughout her life. On a side note, you may not know, but I know that she knows karate, which I think is just pretty cool and makes her seem even tougher to me. I'm so glad that in 7th grade you decided to come out. I'm so glad that you stayed with it through everything you went through, and your toughness and grit has inspired me personally. So I'm proud of you and thank you for your hard work. Good job. Kaylee holds the record for concussions suffered during a junior high and high school basketball career. I can remember back in 7th grade, got a couple of stories about Kaylee here. We were in a close game versus Calumet, and Kaylee was in the game as just a 7th grader. We called timeout to talk about some adjustments we needed to make, and Kaylee was just acting different and weird and really spacing. And I took a closer look at her, and she had this giant bump on her forehead. Looked like it was really painful. And I truly think her lights had been knocked out, and her eyes showed that she was in another world, but she was still out there busting her tail and playing through it until I noticed that she probably should come out of the game for safety purposes. But that was just the beginning of a long line of concussions for Kaylee. I also remember a situation this year, right over here on this bench, when she again had been hit hard in the head, and we were in a timeout in a close game. I was mad about our defense and griping. And over the loudspeaker, an announcement was made about somebody's lights being on in the parking lot, and a description of a vehicle was given, and right in the middle of my angry rant, Kaylee looks up and says, "I think that's my mom's car." Like, just out of nowhere. That was after, again, she'd been hit in the head, though. Usually they don't dare speak when I'm ranting like that. She did. And I didn't think it was funny at the time, if you can remember, but now I kind of confess it. All that being said, I have a theory as to why she had so many head injuries. Because she played with relentless physicality. The screens she set were punishing. She showed no mercy for those that she posted up or blocked out. Kaylee was a great leader on the floor. She was a great talker on defense, always communicating on every pass or every backside cutter. She was calling them out. She was a loyal teammate and had a strong hunger to win games. I can remember during our last time out of the season, this very intense situation, and we needed to stop, and I was kind of starting to talk, and Kaylee just starts begging our team for one more stop. And she said, just one stop and one rebound, guys, that's all it takes. And that was pretty special. I thought it was awesome to see teammates saying at that point what usually I would be saying, and they knew what to say and they knew what to do, and Kaylee was doing that. And so I'll always remember that. It was cool. But we'll miss you. I'm very proud of you. You had a great career, and thank you for your hard work. I meant to warn you I was going to talk a little longer about our seniors, but I think that's a given. Bailey. Bailey, like Kaylee, also did deal with her injuries throughout her career. I think she had at least 2 or maybe 3 knee surgeries throughout her career as a basketball player. And Bailey could have used any of those knee surgeries as an excuse to give up. And nobody could have blamed her, really. She went through a lot. But she didn't give up. She worked hard, and I think you really had a special senior year. I hope you did. I can remember during Bailey's period of like rehabilitation and going through all her surgeries and watching you get back into shape, just sitting over and watching you run sprints with the team and watching you limp, but still finish. And I admired that. She was very determined to get back and play with the team. Bailey really wants to be successful, and most of all wanted to do whatever she could to help the team win. During our final game this season, I remember towards the end when she fouled out and she was upset, and I asked her, I knew what was wrong kind of, but I went over and I said, what's going on? And she said she just was upset that she couldn't be out there helping them. She just wanted to help them. She just wanted the team to win regardless. She was very competitive and probably her own toughest judge. She held herself to a high standard. Bailey's a girl that also stayed after practice and shot a lot, which really paid off, as she had a very good year from behind the three-point line. I saw a lot of scouting reports of teams we played after we played them, and they all had number 11 labeled as a shooter. Bailey perfected taking a charge in transition defense this year as well. We've joked that I used to yell at Bailey to follow her shot, and I just gave up and stopped because when she missed like 4 seconds later, she'd take a charge on the other end of the floor. Took a lot of charges in playoffs. Bailey also maybe the closest thing to an assistant coach or player, assistant coach / player I've had, because I swear in practice you could finish my sentences pretty much before I finished them, knew every question that I asked. If she wanted, I think she could have a career as a coach one day. But all that being said, Bailey, I think, had an outstanding senior year and deserved it. So I'm proud of you and thank you for your hard work as well. Okay, and last but not least, Tatum. Tatum has been an athlete, a basketball player her whole life, and ultra competitive, really. And I have a story for that. I remember the first time that I met Tatum. I tell this a lot. It was my first summer here, and me and Coach Griggs, and I think Coach Schmidt obviously was probably there. We were doing like a softball, baseball camp, and Tatum was just a little thing. Really little. Had a hat on and everything. And her age group was doing a ground ball contest. And if you bobbled the ground ball, you were out. And so we did several games of this, and the winner would get a free pop or a free candy from the concession stand. Now I remember Tatum won the first 1 or 2, which was great. But on like that 3rd or 4th game, sure enough, she bobbled the ground ball and she was eliminated. And I remember her hanging her head real low, and I went over to tell her it's okay. And I didn't know her that well, and she looked at me, and her little eyes were just filled with water, and tears just from bobbling that ground ball that you're trying to hold back. And I knew then that she was competitive. But Tatum has been our point guard for the last 4 years. As a freshman, she wasn't even able to legally drive, but you're out there driving the highways and byways of the basketball court for a basketball team as about a 14-year-old probably. We depended heavily on your quickness and ball handling skills throughout the years. You did a great job getting the ball to the floor for us and getting us set up in whatever we were trying to run offensively. Tatum was on every opponent's scouting report and was always a priority for the opposing defense to try to stop. Throughout her career, she's been selected to several all-tournament teams and also selected to the Ouachita Valley all-conference team for 3 consecutive years. She saw her, we had planned to counter their defense. I do remember a specific time this year when I was very proud of Tatum. We were playing Kearney at the Peyton tournament. Saturday game, they tied it up with free throws. There's a few seconds left. We inbound the ball to Tatum, and she just takes off like a flash of lightning. Oh my gosh. And right when she crosses half court, I think I'm going to call timeout and draw something up. And was going to win the game, but it got waved off because I called timeout. Still sorry about that. But what I was proud of is that we gathered ourselves, recomposed ourselves, and we went out and still won the game. And I was proud of Tatum for not shit. Tatum had an awesome career and will definitely be missed. And I'm proud of you too, and thank you for your hard work. Okay, real quick, I have to present a couple of postseason honors. Mackenzie and Bailey were selected to the Ouachita Valley All-Conference on the Honorable Mention team, and so we have a little plaque for that. So, Mackenzie and Bailey. Good job. And good job. And Tatum was selected to sophomore, junior, senior year. So congrats on that. Last thing, I've only given one of these out before, but the last time somebody scored over 1,000 points in their career, we had a plaque made for joining the 1,000-point club. And it's really tough to score 1,000 points in your high school career. The last one was Hunter Johnson, which is when these girls were freshmen. Hunter scored over 1,000 points, and I remember we had a plaque made for her. And so Tatum this year scored over 1,000 points, and I thought that was pretty impressive, being that the year we had a COVID year, we played like half the games, and you still got there. But this says 1,000-point club, 1,273 career points scored. So good job on that. Lastly, guys, I would just like to thank you, team, one more time for a special year. I'm proud of you all. I'll cherish the memories that I got to make with you guys. Seniors, I hope that you can always look back with pride at what you accomplished during your time on this team and the hard work you put in to succeed as a team. I couldn't ask, I wouldn't want a better group. There's not a more special group of girls in the world than you guys to me. So thank you.
To use it every day, in every drill, and every play. We all signed it for Coach Anderson as a way for him to remember his last team. Anderson has been a great coach, and we are sad to see him leave the program. Thank you for all you have done.
Now I want to present the Robert Duvall Basketball Award. Coach Duvall was an amazing mentor, friend, coach, father figure, teacher, and so much more. He was well respected statewide among all coaches and was as generous and respectful of a person as I have ever met. In remembrance of him, we present one student athlete per year with an award to honor Coach D's memory. We wanted the award to go to an athlete who displayed great respect in the classroom, community, and in basketball, as well as an athlete who showed great sportsmanship towards his coach, teammates, and towards opposing teams. The plaque reads, Robert Duvall Basketball Award, Respect and Sportsmanship. And this year, the award goes to Jaden Strika.
opportunity to tell everyone about this great kid. First of all, just a little bit about him. Preston moved here from Mustang in 2013 as a 7th grader. He played baseball and basketball. I got to know Preston by bringing him to school many days and to practice throughout the year and in the summers. I also had the chance to coach him during junior high baseball with Coach Griggs, and I had him in class for 7th grade math. Tragically, in January 2014, he died in a car wreck. If you've had me in class or you played on one or me or Coach Bench's teams, we always try to remind you guys who he is and talk about him as much as we can. I think it's important to constantly remind everyone of the passion and joy that Preston played with. He always had the biggest smile on his face. He was one of the most competitive, coachable, and fun kids to be around. Preston was also very involved with everything going on around school. He was a 3-season athlete, and when his teams were not playing, you would see him at the games supporting his classmates and friends. The type of teammate, person, friend, and student he was can be put into this sentence: he cared and he smiled. He lifted those up around him. Every year we name a Preston Williams Award winner, and this year will be the 9th year. I hope this continues forever, because to me it's one of the biggest honors to be named the Preston Williams Award winner. This year's winner was the epitome of the best teammate. This person hustled on the court and on the field. They lifted their teammates up at all times. The competitiveness in this person was easily seen. In tough times, you could see them pushing as hard as they could and to will their team to victory. They were very positive. This person was an excellent student in the classroom. They were dedicated and listened to their coaches, and most importantly, they cared 100% of the time for their coaches and their teammates. This year's award winner is Bailey Jackson. All right, last thing we're going to do is recognize our seniors with their little senior banners, and thank you guys for everything this year and the last 4 years. So first we have Tatum Woods. And if you guys would stay up here when you come up here. Cammie Leonard. Kaylee Jackson. Hattie. Rustin Dawson. Jordan Schmidt. All 3 of them. Nice. Kylie McCoy. Alexis Archer.
You got a lot of them.
All right, y'all are going to take a picture. Congratulations, seniors, and thank you guys. Kayla McSpadden. We don't have a poster for you, but also Kayla McSpadden. All right, that concludes the athletic